Skyrim is iconic, timeless, and will never die. This is mostly thanks to the wonderful modders that keep it fresh, so let's go. Julihah's Rocks and Mountains by, Julihah, overhauls the rock and mountain textures so that the rocks now look much smoother and more aesthetically pleasing. There's not really much more I can say about a rock retexture change, so I will just let the video show you the difference. Julihah's Dirt Replacer changes Skyrim's landscape to look less muddy and overall more verdant without killing its performance. It blends roads with the landscape and adds grass, which is growing along and through the roads. This, along with the Rocks and Mountains mod, completely changes pretty much the entirety of Skyrim, making it look 10 times better. The complete list of changes are: replaces the default landscape texture with grass, changes road textures, adds grass growing through the roads, blends roads with landscape texture. It also includes the Rocks and Mountains mod, so you can just install this one if you want both of them. It changes the structure of snow, and it changes the structure of the tundra landscape texture. Improved shadows and volumetric lighting, uploaded to Bethesda.net by Stone Spiral Gaming and created by True Draconus, improves upon Skyrim's shadow and volumetric lighting system by just changing one game setting, which is F Sun DIR X Extreme. That sounds pretty extreme. When I first downloaded it, I struggled to see what the difference actually was, but you can clearly see in the comparisons that it does actually significantly change lighting from the sun in Skyrim, so it doesn't affect any of the lighting at night. So take a look at the changes, and if you prefer the way the game looks with the mod, then give it a download. Skyrim at 90 FOV and 60 FPS by Riften might just have taken the spot as my favourite mod for Skyrim on PlayStation. One of the things that has always annoyed me about console Skyrim is the lack of an FOV slider, and now that Skyrim is playable on the PS5, it can quite easily reach 60 FPS on a fairly consistent basis. So this mod improves the Skyrim experience on console exponentially. Please keep in mind, however, that on PS4 it will be much harder to hit a consistent 60 FPS, so you might experience stutters when the game flicks between 30 and 60 FPS. If you want to avoid that, Riften has also created mods with the following options: just Skyrim at 60 FPS, Skyrim at 120 FOV and 60 FPS, Skyrim at 110 FOV and 60 FPS, Skyrim Unlocked FPS, Skyrim at 100 FOV and 60 FPS, Skyrim at 85 FOV and 60 FPS, and just Skyrim at 90 FOV. For PS4 users, I would definitely recommend just using Skyrim at 90 FOV, and for PS5 users, I would go with Skyrim at 90 FOV and 60 FPS. The mod activation instructions are quite easy, but they're unconventional. You'll need to download and enable the mod. You'll then need to close the application, restart Skyrim, then go back into mods and delete or disable the mod. Skyrim should now keep the changes active without the mod. When you then load into your save, you will need to press circle to enter the menu for the change to actually take effect. If you close down Skyrim at any point, you will have to repeat the process to re-enable the mod. Julihah's Old Town Riften completely overhauls the interiors and exteriors of Riften with some lore-friendly and brilliant additions to and redesigns of the following places: the Bee and the Barb, Elgrim's Elixirs, the Prawn Pawn, Helga's Bunkhouse, Honor Hall Orphanage, the Blackbriar Manor, Thieves Guild Headquarters, the Ragged Flagon, Temple of Mara, Mistival Keep, and the Jarl's Chambers. And Julihah is now, at the time of recording this, working on a Windhelm overhaul, so keep an eye out for that one. Whispering Waters by Sheedy is an idyllic player home located near Anis's cabin and nestled in the woods. It's a lore-friendly player home that I would say is similar looking to a Heartfire DLC house, but obviously much better. The amenities include a kitchen, 3 bedrooms, a library, a bath, an alchemy table, an enchanting table, ample storage, working bookshelves, weapon plaques and display cases, stables and a pretty view of the lake, blacksmith's forge, sharpening wheel, smelter and workbench located behind the house. You can also move in your Skyrim family using the Custom Family Home mod. Morthal Lantern Estate by Lids S3L3L is a not so lore friendly but incredible looking player home designed with a hybrid of Telvanni and Akaviri styles. Everything here looks really tranquil. It seems like a good home for someone that likes to chill. The best thing about this mod though is that there is a working toilet that gives you a buff. The building does not match the exterior and interior dimensions. The appearance from the outside is small and the inside is quite wide, so it's kind of like the TARDIS. Facilities of the main building are player beds, children's beds, follower and NPC beds, toilets, baths, showers and saunas, secret rooms, a trophy room, an oven, cooking pot, arcane enchanter, alchemy lab, staff enchanter and blacksmithing equipment. The garden facilities include stables, livestock sheds, merchant sheds, sheds with safe storage, open air baths, fields, toilets, grinders, hammocks, a barrel with water, and an outdoor telescope for decoration. A fair warning, the first time I visited this place my game crashed, so I don't think it's the most stable mod, but it could be worth the risk if you like the design. Well Tamed Horse by Cyan49 is another mod that could easily be one of my favourites on PlayStation. There really has been some great mods recently. This mod greatly improves the framework for owned horses. After installing the mod, all you have to do is ride a horse. If it has a saddle, the horse will be tagged by the quest and all the features will work. The features of the mod include a power that lets you call your horse. However, you will first need to craft a Nord Warhorn at the blacksmith forge because you'll need to use it to signal your horse, making this mod very similar to the convenient horses mod for PC. You'll also get an amulet of Call Your Horse that works in the same way as the Call Your Horse power. It also introduces follower horses. All you have to do is equip the ring of follower horses and talk to your follower, and you can then set them a horse to own. You can now ask your horse to carry your burdens by sneaking and activating it. The horse has a carry capacity of up to 1000 and is cloud storage, meaning that if you ride another horse, it will be linked to the previous horse's inventory. Horses' aggression has also been tweaked, so they will now flee from combat. They have been given a speed boost, making them 50% faster, and they will follow you at a much greater distance. It's good to know that the Warhorn can actually break, so you might want to make several of them, or you can use the mod's settings power to make it so that the Warhorn never breaks. There are other settings that you can toggle, like disabling the inventory and speed boost, and changing the horse call from catch up with you to teleport near you. This mod has been a long time coming, and I'm so glad it's here. Custom Races, Demon, Siren and Forest Nymph by the prolific Julihah adds 3 custom races to the game: Forest Nymph, Demon and Siren. The backstory for Demons is, you escaped hell with nothing but your fists as a weapon. Anyone who now decides to get on your nerves deserves to be punished. Demon powers are increased unarmed damage by 15, and you get Berserker Rage once per day, and the skill bonuses are Heavy Armor plus 10, Two-Handed plus 10, One-Handed plus 10, Block plus 5, Smithing plus 5, and they also have a Vampire Voice. The Forest Nymph backstory is, also known as the Dryadus, forest nymphs live in harmony with nature. This calm and sensitive race is strongly gifted with the arts of archery due to its highly developed senses, whilst its ancient blood provides immunity to poisons and diseases. Their powers are Immunity and Command Animal. Their skill bonuses are Archery plus 15, Sneak plus 10, Alchemy plus 10, Illusion plus 5, Enchanting plus 5, and they also have a female, sultry, even-toned, accented voice. The Siren's backstory is, Sirens draw their energy from depths of the sea. In return, they use their powers of seduction to offer helpless souls as customs to their mother element. Their scales give them special protection against attacks and enable them to stay underwater indefinitely. Their powers are water breathing, and seduced NPCs will fight for you once per day. Their skill bonuses are one-handed +10, speech +10, block +10, and destruction +5. They also have a ghost voice. You can find all of the armors for these races in 3 chests in and around Riverwood. These are probably the skimpiest armors I've ever seen in PlayStation Skyrim modding, so if you're into that, it's your lucky day. Zenabi's Pet Shop by Mystic Madman adds Zenabi Sama 2, the proud local of Solstheim, who is now the owner of his very own pet shop right across the way from Dusty the Silkstrider. He lives happily with his Alfik Rat roommate Kunari. The mod features 12 companion tomes, which gives summon powers for unique animals, creatures, contraptions, and spectral beings. 3 follower companions, used like any other follower. 2 staffs, which summon ancient unique NPCs who once roamed Solstheim. A special bestiary written by Zenabi, which includes a description for each of the 12 companions. This might actually be the cutest mod ever created in the history of Skyrim modding. You can't look at the tiny little pet cave bear and tell me that you disagree. And that, my friends, is all of the mods for this video. If you enjoyed the video or think you're going to use any of the mods I showed, make sure you leave the video a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Until then, stay safe.